I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, The Moats Theory of Life. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, I strongly encourage you to. This book not only is a fun read, but it's a guide to helping you become a person of impact and inspiration. If you are ready to take the next step to improving not only your life, but those around you as well, go get a copy of The Moats Theory of Life, and it's available at moatstheory.com. What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. You know, another day, another successful weekend for my boy Kevin Harvick. It's just been a good vibe, man. I'm just enjoying myself right now. Actually, big weekend in sports just in general. We had some exhibition baseball happening yesterday. I wasn't going to ask you, did you watch it? But I know as much as you look me in my eyes talking about I'm going to watch baseball, it's the only thing that's on, I figured you wouldn't even have known that, so it's cool. So that's why I'm not even tripping on it. But we had exhibition baseball yesterday, okay? Had some NASCAR. Yeah. Today, actually what's going on right now as we're recording, the NFL owners, they're having a big meeting because training camps are supposed to actually start today for the Chiefs and the Texans. They're supposed to have their rookies reporting. So obviously a lot of concerns still going on with that the players have shown on their social media channels. So waiting to hear more details about that.
We're gonna see if we can catch the update by the end.
I'm hoping so, man. Fingers crossed. It would be awesome, man. We even pushed back the recording.
Because how many times have we done a podcast?
Oh,
literally
it's the worst.
within 20 minutes or an hour, new news will drop.
It's the worst.
And then we're behind.
That's the problem with us not being live. If we're live, we can talk right now in the moment, regardless of what happens, because the people are getting the information right now. But, you know, our method is kind of like what they do with TV and with a lot of other, you know, sports talk shows and podcasts, stuff like that. It's you pre-record it, then you edit it and produce it, and then you publish it. So it takes us a little bit more time. That's all, man. But either way, man, hopefully we'll have an update by the end of the podcast, man, so we can give our reactions to that. But back to this big weekend, though, in NASCAR, though, because my boy went crazy again. Another top 10 finish.
Top 10, not top 5, though.
No. He finished 5th. Okay. I was getting there. And see, hey, look at you jumping the gun. I was another top 10 finish, another top 5 finish. I was pausing. Not only that, though, he had a milestone this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So this would have happened on lap number 222. On lap number 222, my boy Kevin Harvick became the all-time leading driver. The all-time leading driver amongst active drivers for laps completed. Man, he had completed his 200,000th lap. He's number 1 right now, man. All time active players, man. Driving that thing, man. He's doing his thing. He's cooking.
Active.
Yes.
What's all time? Just in
I would need to look that up for all time because I'm sure it's gonna be something crazy.
I mean, yeah, active's still impressive though.
Absolutely, man. So right now he's sitting at, this was at lap 222. You do the math. It was 334 laps total. So he has 200,112 laps completed under his thing, man. So that's pretty awesome, man. It's a heck of a career thus far. Like I said, he had a top 5 finish, finished 5th, which was actually crazy too, because during this race, we're talking about the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500, took place at Texas Motor Speedway, which, by the way, was blistering hot out there. Holy cow, man. I felt bad for the drivers.
What kind of race is this?
So this is still a part of the Cup. This is the Cup Series, not the All-Star race. Series.
It's not like one of the prestigious ones, though.
Correct. Yeah, it's not a big name track, but
helps you get some points.
Yeah, it absolutely does, man. But during the race, man, it was crazy because each race thus far I've talked about has been some type of crash happening at various points in the race. So in this particular race, on lap 219, this is the final stage, right? 219 or 334 laps. On lap 219, man, it was a 10-car pileup. I'm talking like just destroyed the whole field. The crash was so big. Usually when a wreck happens, they'll have the caution flag come out and you'll still run laps under caution. Remember, I was telling you how that's how you kind of get the green, white checkered overtime finishes, right? If during a caution, you're still running laps, you're not going full speed, but you're still going around the track. They couldn't even do that this time because of how big this wreck was. They didn't even have him going to pit road because they couldn't even get him back around. They literally had him just stop on the track. So literally you see some cool shots of the field that survived this massive wreck just parked on the like front like stretch or whatever. Fans coming up because they had fans at this race as well. Fans coming up on the fence taking pictures. It was pretty awesome, man. But literally, this was like I said, the way it happened. My boy was sitting in. He was actually sitting in fifth. I want to say fifth or sixth when he was. No, he was sitting in fifth. And Ryan Blaney, the 12 car. Ryan Blaney. So mind you, they're going 180, 190, right? Ryan Blaney, in the part of the track where he was at, he starts losing speed like rapidly. So he drops down from, his 190 to probably, 10, 15 miles slower than that. So what it does, it causes the 22 car, which is Joey Logano. He has to slow up. And now he's right in front of my boy, Kevin Harvick. So now I'm getting nervous because I'm like, you seeing everybody break. I'm like, bro, you going too fast to be slowing down like that. To equate it, man, imagine you being in the left lane, you getting after it, and that person just pulls out in front of you like, oh, you got to hit the brakes. It's not cool.
Yep.
Now, the difference is you don't have a lot of cars going behind you just as fast. NASCAR, these cars are already, bumper to bumper. So mind you now, so once Ryan Blaney starts slowing up like that, it caused Joey Logano to slow up. My guy Harvick is like right on Logano's bumper. I'm like, oh man, he about to wreck. It's about to be over. Like the bad luck is about to hit. Somehow, some way, my boy finds a way to get up out of it. But everybody after that, oh my God, it was a 10 car just smashing walls. Everybody's getting just destroyed their whips, man. It was insane. And at the time too, because of where they were on the track. So usually everybody races in doubles, right? So you just see like 2 lanes or 2 rows of cars. They were 3 wide at this time. So you imagine 3 wide and all these cars piling up like that. So it was just out of control, man. Yeah. I was so happy that my guy barely made it out. They showed the in-camera. So another cool thing with NASCAR, they'll have like cameras inside the cars, and they also do interviews with the drivers in the cars while they're racing. It's crazy. So imagine Ben at quarterback taking a snap, and they're like, yo, so Ben, what are you saying right here? Well, man, I'm just trying to, get this pass off over here and over there. Like, that's literally how it goes. So it's crazy, man. So they showed the footage.
I can't imagine it being that low stress for the drivers though, to where they could just do an interview like that.
But the thing is, they'll even show their heart rate sometimes, and some of these dudes, man, it doesn't move. I'm like, yo, you're driving 190 right now in a crowd, and they're just chilling. Hey, I think it was 3 races ago, Bubba Wallace, it was a crash happening in front of him. He drives off the track onto like it was like a little ramp. He pops up, he's airborne, lands, comes back on the track, and continues driving just fine. And you can hear him talking to his guys like, whoa, this is crazy. Oh man, ha ha, and just laughing. I'm like, oh, this is out of control.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, so it's plenty of time. So like guys like Jeff Gordon, who are obviously up in the booth, they'll call and he's like, yeah, man, it's Jeff Gordon. It's Jeff Gordon with Fox. Want to talk to you, man. How you feeling right now? So you just survived that crash. Yeah, man. Well, it's kind of crazy over there, but sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I'm like, what? Like, bro, you're still going 190 and there's still cars around you right now. Like, if I'm driving that fast, don't talk to me. I need to be focused.
That would be wild for the NFL. I mean, people have even talked about, since there's going to be no fans with the NBA, it's just going to be a bubble like that they should do some type of mic'd up stuff like that with the NBA players. But man, that's even different than the NASCAR. That's live, right? That's like a live interview. Because if they did it NBA, I'm sure it would be a post-production.
Because I say, even like with the XFL, remember what they did where they had the sideline interviews, right? So a guy could get an interception, come off the field, and they're talking to him right now. Remember how big of a deal that was? Because like, oh, this is right in the heat of the moment. Dude, NASCAR has it on a whole nother level because they're talking to these guys during the actual race, not when they're pitting. Like on the track, you see them passing somebody, having a conversation with Jeff Gordon. Like, yeah, man, well, the car's running good right now, man. We had to change the tires, but other than that, oh yeah, we're good. I'm like, yo, what is going on here, man? So for me, man, I love that element. It just adds to it, but it really puts into perspective just how talented they are. Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, imagine, how it is when you get on the interstate. Sometimes you're going a little faster than you're supposed to be going. Not saying that we speeding. We just going faster than what the limit is. You know what I mean? It happens. But I don't want to be having a conversation while I'm getting it in like that, man. It's not a good idea.
No, that's wild. Yeah, so man. All in all, good though.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, my boy finished fifth.
Yeah. I mean, that's just got to be adding to his lead.
Absolutely, racking up the points, keeping the lead, expanding a little bit more. Just an update on some of the other racers. Cole Custer, remember he was the rookie that won last week, part of Stewart Haas Racing and everything. He was a part of the crash, so he ended up getting knocked out. That sucked. Let's see who else was on there. So Austin Dillon, he was the guy who won it. For me, I think this was his first win of the season, but decent driver, nothing crazy. At number 2, you had Tyler Reddick. At number 3, Joey Logano, the guy who almost crashed my guy, you know what I'm saying? But he was able to survive. Kyle Busch, shout out to Kyle Busch, man. He was at number 4.
He's kind of in the mix, right?
Yeah. Kyle Busch definitely in the
top
mix.
5.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, he's consistently finishing top 10.
You didn't say Hamlin.
Yeah, I was about to get to him.
Oh, he's up there too.
No. Ha ha ha. Denny Hamlin finished 20th. Let's go, man.
So Busch was the only one,
Yeah, Busch was the only one that was in that top. Okay. Yeah. Denny Hamlin finished 20th, man. And the thing is, I don't have an issue with Denny Hamlin. I think he's a good driver. Obviously, he's been competing with my boy Harvick, pushing each other and stuff like that. I even like him because he got the Jordan endorsement.
Really?
Yes, he has it's FedEx and Jordan. He gets out his driver jacket, Jordan, and I'm like, bro,
that's tight.
I like that. Really I like that a lot. Yeah, man. So I don't have an issue with him, but he finished 20th. So I was like, yeah, appreciate you on that one. And then Bubba Wallace, shout out to Bubba, man. He finished 14th. So another top 15 finish for him. That's big in terms of stacking up the points, stuff like that. So I was surprised, man. I was like, you know what? This is a good little race, man.
Good, man.
And I forgot, I didn't even update you on the All-Star race. Because that was the day when I came back. I was telling you, man, I had the crazy busy day on the All-Star race. So I had the 2 events at one.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, the All-Star race, I did catch the ending of it. Chase Elliott ended up winning. Shout out to Chase, man. He's a guy who had been successful earlier in the season. Of lately, though, his cars have been running as good. So he's been finishing 10, 15 area of lately. I don't know what's gotten into the car. Hopefully they can get it fixed because he's a really, really good driver. Comes from a family of drivers that have been successful as well. But he won the All-Star race, the $1 million big time deal, man. My boy Harvick finished 3rd in that race, though. And he was struggling. His car, for some reason, man, I don't know what's been going on the past 3 to 4 races, man. His car has been off. Like even yesterday,
it doesn't seem like it matters though. If he's pulling
gritty.
Off these thirds,
he finds a way to get it done. But even yesterday, yesterday, which is Sunday, his car still wasn't riding right. Like it was plenty of times where he's like, oh man, it's about to be a rough one. But he just finds a way to just stay in the mix. Right place, right time. Top 5 finish. Let's go.
Good for him, dude.
Yeah, man. So shout out to my dog, man, Kevin Harvick, man. Keep stacking them. Oh, and my young boy. Remember I tell you the Xfinity series, like the college version,
the next guy.
Yeah. So my college guy, I don't even want to call him college guy because technically he's still professional, but he's just like it's like baseball. You got the MLB, and then you got the minor.
You got double A and single A. Yeah.
So he's a part of the minor league essentially, but he went ahead and took 2nd place yesterday too, man. So I mean on Saturday. So yeah. Let's go, man. My boys is cooking, man.
Damn,
my boys are cooking.
Good for you, dude.
It's about to make me go buy a Mustang. I'm about to go buy a Mustang. That's the car they drive. I used to have a Mustang. I'm about to get the itch to give me a Mustang.
What kind of Mustang you have?
I used to have the GT.
Yeah. What year?
It would have been 15? No, it was 16, 17, 18. No, 16, 17 I had it.
Okay.
Yeah, all black, man. Was it the GT Premium California package, convertible, black.
Why'd you swap it out? Family reasons? Something more practical?
No, it was business.
Okay.
It was business.
I got you. Yeah. I understand.
Gotta roll with the business, man. Where the money goes, Arthur goes. You know how that goes, man. But now, from a personal, for personal reasons, I'm like, hey, I might be in the market. Give me a Mustang, man, because my boys is kicking butt with these Mustangs, man.
That'd be badass if you got some type of, you know how the cars in NASCAR have like the art
on it, yeah,
they have the art and the sponsorships, the logos. That'd be cool if you had, obviously we have Roach that did our logo. What if he hooked you up with like a logo for the Mustang? You're able to put a number to the side and everything.
That'd be dope. Pull up to the tailgates with stripes. That. Ooh, gotta be black and gold though.
Yeah, I'd black with yellow stripes, gold stripes.
Yeah. Well, no, remember it's not yellow. This is gold.
I think I corrected myself.
I don't want to see that happen to you, Deke.
It's strange though because
I know.
It's actually more in between.
Trust me. I know. I've researched this thing ad nauseum. All right. I know. I just gave up.
Like gold is the Penguins' old jerseys.
Listen. I gave up years ago. I gave up on it. Because you can't have this conversation. You just can't. All right.
I agree. You say black and gold, yes.
Yeah.
Although black and yellow was a song.
I know, but then they tried to get on him about that. So I'm just throwing it out there, man. All right, I'm just trying to save you the headache of this debate.
Boston tried stealing that song from us with the Bruins. It was one of their finals runs. You can't be doing that, man.
Not at all, man. Not at all. But trust me, I'm just trying to help you avoid that whole situation because it is a headache,
black
bro.
And gold. Yeah,
it's black and gold. Keep it simple. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to look into that, bro.
You can't deny what you see visually.
I'm with you 1,000%.
It's a goldish yellow. I think that's the best way to put it.
Listen, I even went so far as to ask my my equipment staff.
Look at some of the Pirates jerseys right now. That's like pretty hardcore yellow.
I'm telling you, I went to my equipment the equipment staff. I said, pull up the exact name of these colors. Like, I'm tired of them just saying it's
like
gold.
The code.
Yes, like the code. Yeah. What is it listed as? Still, they don't care. All right, so just leave me alone. I'm not even going in here.
Is it yellow with an adjective before it?
Listen, just know, people that swear that it's gold. I'm just letting you know. I've seen different, but that's neither here nor there. All right, I don't want any issues, so I'm gonna say it's gold. All right, his mama name Cassius. I'm gonna call him Cassius. All right, so that's how we rolling with this thing, man. All right, that's where I'm at with it, man. I don't want no problems. No problems.
That's good with me, dude.
Man, I should check too to see if Shefty gave us an update.
Check the update now. Because we got two topics.
Y'all gonna get some cool little in the now type action right now, man. Let's see if Shefty dropped us a Shefty bomb yet, man. That's what y'all call it these days, right? Shefty bomb. Y'all know if that's still a thing. Nope, still nothing, man. All right, still waiting. Sounds good. Yep, still waiting. Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll hold off for another 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Because we do got another topic. So, this would have been probably 2 episodes ago. We talked about the potential first time Pro Bowlers for the AFC, and we listed obviously the Steelers, a couple other teams, and things like that. So we said we were going to come back and give you the NFC side.
Yeah, those contracts were too hot last week.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was cooking. And then we had some dope interviews as well last week. So we had a lot going on that got us away from the second part. But now today, we're going to give you the second part. So with that being said, pull up my handy dandy computer.
Yep.
All right. So let's start with the Cardinals, man. All right. So for the Cardinals, first time Pro Bowlers, I think the list has them. Kyler Murray, yep. It does have Kyler Murray. So I guess I'll give my reaction to it first. For me, I don't think Kyler Murray would get a Pro Bowl this year. Just thinking about the NFC quarterbacks that did make the Pro Bowl last year, obviously you have
Russ, Breeze, Aaron Rodgers, but Kirk Cousins made it as a replacement.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously you got to add Tom Brady coming into the NFC as well this year. And then you still have Teddy Bridgewater, who is a Pro Bowler that's going to get his opportunity now to come back as a starter.
Yeah, but dude, his Pro Bowl was I'm just saying, though. It was like 3 or 4 players didn't.
I'm just saying, a Pro Bowl is a Pro Bowl. It's still a Pro Bowl.
I know, but dude, that's not, I don't know. If you look at his numbers, I don't know
if his numbers were ever
Pro Bowl worthy.
I'm just saying, it's still a Pro Bowl, man. That's it, bro. Still a Pro Bowl. So that's why I was like, man, I think the quarterback room in the NFC is still going to be a little bit too packed for him. I don't really see which of those guys is going to beat out between Russell, Breeze, or Rodgers. And that's before we even talk about Brady, who you think is back and ready to go.
Right.
So that's my biggest issue. And you got to think Breeze come off of missing 5 games last year. Do we anticipate him missing 5 games again this season? I personally don't.
Yeah. The question is with Breeze, will he take a step back due to age? I don't really think that.
Yeah. For me, I don't think that because I'm not thinking that with Brady. And that's my whole thing.
I don't think that. I think Brady's going to be an improvement with his stats.
Yeah.
The thing I will say about Murray is, Rodgers made it last year, and his stats weren't that gaudy or anything.
Yeah, he said 4,000 passing, but he was very efficient though. 26 touchdowns, 4 picks.
So I think all it would take is, let's just say Tom Brady makes it over Rodgers. We still have Wilson and Breeze. Although with Breeze, I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's a question just with the age and maybe his attempts have been going down. Like, I just don't know. I'm sure the touchdown to interception ratio is going to be there.
Because check this out. So in 11 games, Breeze last year was 27 touchdowns, 4 picks.
I know.
And that's what Rodgers did in 16 games.
That's what I mean. Yeah. His efficiency's crazy.
But I mean, he still almost had more passing yards than Cousins. Cousins had 3,600. He was at 2,900. So
that's what I mean. So will Breeze throw for over 4,000?
I think he will.
Will he? I mean, I'm sure the touchdown to interception ratio will be pretty similar. I could see Murray having a really just crazy fantasy type of season, though.
Yeah.
Which could win the hearts of people. Just based off
with that.
Rushing yards, and his passing yards will go up a little bit. And he was offensive rookie of the year last year.
That was a robbery, though. Stop. That was a robbery.
Listen,
man.
Dude, as much as you want to say Teddy making the Pro Bowl, I'll say Kyler got the offensive rookie of the year.
He did, but it was a robbery.
We both think it should have been Jacobs. Yes.
Yes. This is my only concern, though, man. When I think of guys like Breeze, when I think of guys like Rodgers, they have those names.
Yeah.
And we talked about how we've seen even last year with Von Miller and Khalil Mack making the Pro Bowl, one had 7.5 sacks, one had 8 sacks, whereas guys with 13 sacks, 10 plus sacks, they didn't make the list at all. For me, that's my only concern. Like, for Kyle would have to really just go absolutely insane next year.
I think he could, dude. I think he could, which is why I think he might just get it based off what type of year he could be having. Okay. DeAndre Hopkins being there, second year in the system. I think that'd definitely help him out. That's what I mean. Could he get 600 rushing yards, over 4,000 yards passing, then, be almost at 30 passing touchdowns? I think that's possible. Is that Pro Bowl worthy? I definitely think it is. Now, the question is, does it stack up against some of the other names? Yeah. I think maybe just because he could be like a fantasy superstar and a lot of people are going to be hyping him up and stuff throughout the year if he keeps doing this, that it's possible. And what it could take, too, is if you have the 3 staples that make it, one of them just wants to bow out due to injury like we see with Rodgers here and Kirk Cousins making it. So I'd say you got the 4 in terms of competition being Russ, Breeze, and Rodgers. And then, and also I meant Brady before Rodgers. But then, dude, like I said, one of them bows out to injury, or Kyler Murray. I could see him just beating one of them out. Not saying that I think he would be the better quarterback or someone I would trust in the playoffs, but in terms of just raw stats, that's my thing with him. Who's the guy you're thinking then? Are you thinking Simmons?
I'm going Isaiah Simmons. Yeah, I think, man, when you look at the Cardinals defense, they have all pros at every level except inside linebacker. They got Chandler Jones on the edge, Patrick Peterson at corner, Budda Baker at safety. Isaiah Simmons is going to have the freedom to freelance because he's going to be covered at multiple areas on that field. And when you talk about just how athletic Isaiah Simmons is, I mean, it was times at Clemson where he legit was playing middle field safety for quarters, not 1 or 2 plays, not 1 or 2 packages. Like, he literally has that type of versatility. So you talk about a guy you're going to be able to use in coverage, whether it's zone or man. You talk about a guy who's going to be able to stand up against the run. You talk about a guy who can go sideline to sideline. You talk about a guy who they can blitz as well because he still can get after the quarterback. That type of position flexibility and him just being an overall elite athlete, I think is going to bode extremely well for him. And when you're talking about the NFC from a linebacker standpoint, Kuechly is gone. So it's a lot more open in terms of him having those opportunities. Jalen Smith is a guy obviously with the Cowboys who made the Pro Bowl, but I personally don't know if he can sustain that type of play because now, granted, before he got hurt, obviously at Notre Dame, he had that type of trajectory, that type of productivity, but obviously coming back from the injury has definitely been a great story to follow, but we haven't seen him just be a Bobby Wagner type or even a Luke Kuechly type. So for me, I'm looking at Isaiah Simmons saying, man, hey, it's a legit opportunity for you.
He definitely has got mad potential. That was the second guy I was thinking. Yeah. But, just for the sake of the article and seeing Kyler Murray, you know what? I'm like, I could definitely see it. I'll give Kyler Murray the nod. Right. I could see. I told you last podcast, I said I think he's going to have a better year than Dak Prescott. So, if that happens, he's definitely going to be in the mix for a Pro Bowl.
I just think it's going to be hard for him to do that because his offense doesn't have the type of weapons that Dallas has, nor does his offense run that pro-style scheme. Like we talked about how even with Lamar.
Doesn't that benefit him, though, in terms of stats and that spread offense? Especially the rushing.
Well, this is the thing. Unless it's something ridiculous rushing from a quarterback standpoint, how much are you really valuing it? Because we talk about a guy like Josh Allen. Josh Allen killed on the ground his first 2 years, but we don't talk about him in that vein.
I think Kyler's got the better arm talent, though.
Understandable, but all I'm saying is we don't really look at Kyler. We don't look at quarterbacks and just solely, oh, yeah, 600 rushing yards. I think that's a big deal. It has to be like how Lamar went crazy for them to really justify it. Even though, I mean, statistically, from a passing standpoint.
Deshaun's made some Pro Bowls, though.
But not off of running, though.
No,
people talk about Deshaun as a passer.
No, I agree, but I think Kyler Murray's that type of passer. I think he can get over 4,000 yards.
But he would have to get over 4,000. I think that's going to be the big key for him. I think he'll get close to it. I don't think he'll get over it, though. That's my only concern with him.
Okay. Yeah. So that's your breaking point, right there.
Yeah. I don't think he'll get over 4,000. If you don't get over 4,000 with the names that we just named, I mean, like I said, even Kirk Cousins was flirting. He was at 3,600. So you have to be in that $4,000 range, I feel like, to beat out the blue bloods in terms of your Rodgers, your Breeze. Obviously, Russell Wilson's going to be there, barring injury. And then when you bring in Tom Brady, who's going to be in a prolific offense with the weapons that he has now, I just don't see him having a crazy year where he's going to take over like that. Unless he transforms to like a Lamar Jackson, what he did this year, I don't really see that happening. But I will say this, though, with Kyler Murray, he doesn't get enough respect as a passer. I mean, you look at his numbers, man, efficient, QBR, completion percentage, yards, like he checks the box as a thrower. He can make all the throws, but I think everybody's just so enamored with the fact that, oh man, he can run. He's more running than QB. Like he can throw, man. He's a legit passer.
He definitely can, for sure. Yeah. What's the next squad?
We have the Falcons next, man.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, so the Falcons, they say Hayden Hurst. I'm going Calvin Ridley, man.
Really?
I am, man.
With the NFC receivers,
well, that's the thing. I think the NFC receivers are stacked without a doubt. And I think it's going to be a stretch for Calvin to get in it. But my thing is this, man. When I look at some of the NFC receivers, like I said, it doesn't look pretty in terms of him having an opportunity.
This is more of a feel thing.
It's not a feel thing. My thing is this, man. When I look at Hayden Hurst, when has he proven that he's a Pro Bowl caliber tight end?
I just think the opportunity is going to be there. I see what they're doing with.
You're projecting.
I know,
he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, but you could say that with anyone though. That hasn't had that. Well, you could say that with Simmons though. Even like
with Simmons as a rookie though, but Simmons' rookie pedigree right now is still viewed and held to a way higher standard than Hayden Hurst. We're not talking about Hayden Hurst being able to come in and turn the league upside down. We're not talking about Hayden Hurst being able to take over next year.
I don't think anyone thought that of Austin Hooper though either.
True.
That's what I mean. I just think the opportunities, like if he's the starter,
Hooper's the better player though.
He is, but they drafted this dude for a reason. I mean, and they let Hooper go for a reason where they think maybe this guy can step in. He's got the talent that he could just be taking those targets. I think the only reason I say him is more or less based off of the opportunity. And if he's going to be the full-time tight end for the Falcons, Hooper's made 2 Pro Bowlers. Matt Ryan likes to get it over 4,000 yards. He likes to sling it around there, just how the offense is set up.
Well, and I was going to say, too, you said that they drafted him. They didn't. Remember, Baltimore had him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was in Baltimore, and he was robbing there. Remember, Andrews was the main guy there. That's my only issue when I think of a Hayden Hurst. Like, I haven't seen anything where he just says, like, yo, I'm the man. I'm ready to ball out. But I mean, just on the position alone, let's see NFC. Who are the NFC tight ends that made the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like Kittle. he was because he was a first round pick. That's what I mean. Like he had the talent and shit.
Correct. But yeah, the NFC tight ends, you got George Kittle, Jared Cook, Zach Ertz. Obviously, I mean, Austin Hooper, him leaving the NFC though, it will be an open slot. It definitely will be an open slot.
That's what I mean, dude.
Now, do you think? See, I think of a guy like a OJ Howard. I could see getting that though, especially or even a Gronk because Gronk is back now with Brady.
No, I definitely think Gronk too. I definitely agree with you on Gronk. But in terms of best chance out of that team, that's just why I have him.
Yeah.
That's why I have him because you could see a scenario with Gronk as much as I say that he's still a top 3 tight end in this league. You could see him not having the stats necessarily to back that up for a Pro Bowl nod. You could see him maybe getting
Gronk get the name nod, man.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, so what? Would he just need to have over 600-700 yards to get it?
Well, Jerry Cook had 700 yards last year. He would have to have over 700.
Okay. And
he's going to get the opportunities though with Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan could throw that ball.
That's what I mean in terms of Hayden Hurst. In terms of best chance for the team, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm trying to think who else. I thought Calvin just because
I have Calvin listed here as like a name, but then I have Mark next to it. I said nah, just because of the NFC wide receivers. NFC
wide receivers are loaded.
You got Julio Jones on his own team, so that's a tough thing. I mean,
because I was hoping
he can have a really good year, but
see what I'm hoping I get with the Calvin situation is kind of like the AB Juju situation. Julio is your AB dominating, getting all the attention, but now Calvin can feast on the opposite side of him. Similar to what we saw with Juju the year when he made the Pro Bowl. Like, that's what I'm kind of thinking with a Calvin. Like, because Calvin, he has the pedigree.
Godwin made it last year and Evans made it last year. So you're just kind of thinking that type of scenario.
Do it again, though.
Yeah.
With Brady.
I could see Godwin not getting it, or just one or the other. I could see Brady maybe favoring one or the other to where that will open up a spot. But still, the NFC receivers are stacked, like we've been saying.
Yeah, without a doubt, man.
Next one, Brian Burns.
The Panthers. Yeah, man. So you going with Brian Burns?
I don't know who else is on the roster that I can really say. I mean, he had a hot start to his rookie year last year. Kind of fizzled out a little bit, but I mean, still, I don't really know what other name is there. I think the potential's there with Burns.
I went Trey Boston. So he's a safety, man, that's been balling out everywhere he's been. He typically leads his team in picks, and he's either top three or at least his team in tackles as well. He was obviously with the Chargers when they were in San Diego, balled out there. I was with him in Arizona, and he had 2 stints with the Panthers. And this is actually the first time where he actually has gotten the long-term deal. A lot of times he was viewed as kind of like a mercenary. Just go in on a 1-year deal, ball out, hit the market again. But I think him having another year in that scheme, and now the fact that they've added some more pieces on the defense, I think that he'll be able to be very successful out there. And when we talk about just the safeties in the NFC as well, this is kind of the dilemma. I think it's tough. I think the corner standpoint is tougher in the NFC, but when I look at the safeties in the NFC in particular, let me pull this up. I know you have Harrison Smith. Yeah, Harrison Smith, he's tight. Budda Baker, though, I feel like Budda, because he already has the nod, that could help him in it, but I don't feel like Budda is a sure lock in that sense, though. So that's something I could see potentially happening.
Yeah, I just go based off this dude's potential. I mean, he was 21 years old last year. Like I said, hot start. I remember whenever we were ranking the rookies, it was like our quarter season awards. We gave him Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely,
he came off to that hot of a start.
He was out playing Nick Bosa.
He was. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going off of, and I'm not going to make this crazy argument for the outside linebacker spot in the NFC's wide open because I don't really see that. I mean, Chandler Jones, Khalil Mack, obviously he had a down year. If he has another down year, I don't think they'll just simply give it to him based off name. Shaquille Barrett had,
he went crazy.
I know, that's what I mean. Will he come back down to earth a little bit?
I personally think he will. I just 19 and a half is hard to do.
Zadarius Smith was a replacement for Khalil Mack too,
which I thought was disrespectful. He had 13 and a half sacks last year.
So Brian. I mean, could you see a world where Brian Burns gets over double-digit sacks and really comes into his own next year? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking with him.
I could dig it. I'm not. Yeah, and actually I have Trey Boston / Brian Burns up here on my list, man. So trust me, I'm with you.
We're going back and forth.
Yeah. All right, now with the Bears, they have Anthony Miller, 3rd-year receiver. For me, man, I'm going on the defensive side of the ball, man. Roquan Smith, I think he's the guy that has the best chance. We talked about how in the NFC, Kuechly is gone, and Roquan is the guy, man. This is going into his 3rd year, but he's had over 100 tackles in both seasons, extremely productive in the running game. Gets out he's 5 sacks his first year, 2 sacks last year, interceptions both seasons. I mean, he's a very, very talented player. I think in that Bears defense, especially. And this, I guess the bigger reason why I think Roquan is going to take off even more. He already has had 2 very, very good seasons. I'm banking on Nick Foles taking over that quarterback spot, which means they're going to be able to have a lot more comfort and assurances on offense, more productivity from that side of the ball, which means that Roquan is even going to be playing a crazy amount of snaps, so he's going to be a lot fresher. Similar to what we talked about with the Steelers defense, right?
Yeah.
We said last year at times they would just want the field too much. That's what the Bears were doing, man. They were wanting the field too much. So if I'm banking on them being off the field a lot more, being more rested, I think his numbers go up even more. And I'm hoping that Khalil Mack does have a bounce back season because then that helps Roquan out even more as well, man.
This was actually the one out of the whole list I just didn't even answer. I see Anthony Miller, wide receiver. And I'm thinking, how the hell is this going to be possible?
Not a chance.
And I'm looking at the Bears, and I'm like, I really don't see a name. So I'm going to defer to you on that, and I'm going to agree with you. So I did not even bother with the Bears.
I was looking on the offense. I was like,
I said, they're trying to make this case for Anthony Miller, saying, he piled up 445 yards of his 656 yards after week 9. Blah blah, this and that. But I mean, if we're gonna talk about him versus Calvin Ridley, and you're even questioning putting Calvin Ridley on based off of the NFC receivers.
If this was AFC, okay, I can hear your debate.
I still don't even want to hear it.
NFC, not a chance, man. We talked about the NFC. They have the best receivers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do have, in one of these later ones, I do have a receiver making it.
I think I do too.
We might be thinking the same guy.
I think we will be. All right. So now we got the Cowboys here. So they went with Lyle Collins. I actually have a couple receivers making it. So this is where I had Michael Gallup right here. No, I want Michael Gallup, man. He's coming off a 1,000-yard season.
I could see him having more yards than Cooper this year. Yes,
I think he will have more than the Cooper. My concern is CeeDee Lamb. I don't know how fast CeeDee Lamb gets up to speed, because when CeeDee Lamb is going and he's good, he's gonna get the ball. I just don't know how long it's going to take for him to get there. Whereas we know with Gallup is going to be super consistent. Gallup is going to be producing. Cooper is going to draw all the attention. Gallup is the Robin right now, though. So he's going to benefit the most until CeeDee Lamb gets up to speed and then takes over that spot eventually.
So you see that happening?
I do. Yeah, I think.
So what's going to happen with that receiver room?
I think it'll be
in 2-3 years. So it's
in 2-3 years, it's just going to be CeeDee Lamb as the guy.
CeeDee Lamb and Cooper, they get rid of Gallup. Is that what you think?
No. I don't know how much Gallup is going to command off of right now. Now, if he puts together another season like how he did last year, another 1,000-yard receiving season, that changes a lot. But I think he's going to be viewed as a number 2 guy. Whereas CeeDee Lamb, I think, has the potential to be a legit number 1 receiver. And that's why I think because
they already paid Cooper. That's their problem.
So he's going to be, absolutely. So he's going to be there.
I feel like in 2 or 3 years, you'd rather have the CeeDee Lamb Gallup group.
I agree.
But you already paid Cooper.
So you're stuck.
And I feel like his value, if you're trying to trade him, is going to be bad in 2 or 3 years. Now, you might be able to get something. I don't even know what, though.
Yeah.
Hopkins went for a 2nd-round pick.
Right.
Stephon Diggs went for a first.
Yeah.
He got the contract. I bet you get a first or second for him.
I think the thing is this, though. With Hopkins, you got to remember who was trading him, man. Bill O'Brien isn't the best in terms of doing the GM.
Yeah, he should have been a first-round pick. So, I mean, I bet you get probably a first or second for Cooper right now if you put him.
Remember they were talking about, is Juju a first-round pick right now? And I would take Cooper over Juju just off of what he's done so far. So I think that.
But the contract, though.
Correct. Yeah, the contract
that's the thing that's hurting him.
Yeah.
With the Gallup, see, that's the thing, dude. I'm actually not really against their pick. I like the Gallup call for sure, because I think I could easily see him having 1,200, 1,300 yards. Man. At the same time, I could see with this dude, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, just that reputation. This dude's always had the talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
He hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet. So it could just be one of those things where is this his time? The Dallas Cowboy offensive line bounces back a little bit. So I like that Gallup pick though too, because this one I just kind of went with who they had, but
and like you said, they're always in prime time too, bro.
Well, that's what they mentioned in this article about.
It's no different than playing with the Steelers. You know you're gonna get every opportunity, and you could just hear it now. Romo talking about, yeah, man, you gotta love those guys, or Chris Collinsworth. So here's a guy, when you watch him, man, he just protects.
Well, and
he gives Dak all the time in the world.
I know the PFF thing, you take it or leave it, but they do have him ranked as the 5th highest tackle.
He's a legit tackle. I'd have to look to see.
They said went from good to great last season is what they said. And that offensive line is just there. I mean, he's always been great on. Not great, but he's been a part of that offensive line. So
and they have the reputation going for them as well.
I like that Gallup call though.
Yeah, so that's
I'm gonna go with Gallup. I was so surprised.
I didn't think you would go. I thought you would be bigger on CeeDee Lamb.
I didn't even think of Gallup, to be honest with you. Yeah. No. Well, here's the thing with Lamb. You bringing up Lamb and whether he's gonna be there or not. Mm-hmm. Randall Cobb still had 800 yards last year.
Very true.
See, that's the thing though. Dak threw for 4,900 yards. I'm guessing that goes down. That's just gonna have to.
Nah, I think
4,900 yards.
Bro.
No,
I think it goes up. No. He's gonna be close to 5. I'm telling you, man.
No way. Why do you think that,
bro? They are loaded. They are loaded. Like, think about last year. You just did it with Amari Cooper. You had Gallup and, like you said, Randall Cobb. You don't mean to tell me Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb isn't an upgrade of the receiver group? I personally think it is. And you're going to have an inspired Dak, too. You got inspired Dak because Dak wants the big deal, whether it's in Dallas or elsewhere.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, we had this whole Dak conversation last podcast.
I just think
I don't know, dude.
opportunity alone is going to be perfect.
I think
for
last
him,
year
bro.
was more of the outlier for him, but yeah, we'll see,
that,
man.
I think that's going to be like normal.
Of course, his offense is there.
Yeah,
Wow.
And way better coaching staff this year too, man. Remember that McCarthy's now running the thing, man. No more Jason Garrett. So
you think less running then? I was talking to my buddy. He was making the argument for it, where he liked to throw with Rodgers.
Yeah, he lets it sling.
He never had a Zeke Elliott up there though.
True. I think who was his best running back up there?
Eddie Lacy. Eddie was a beast for 2 or 3 years.
And
I'm gonna stand by that. Eddie was awesome. One cat
that was the running back at the University of Buffalo. He actually went there the year they won it. This might have been the year they won the Super Bowl.
Ryan Grant.
No, I'm drawing a blank on this kid's name. Man, I can't remember.
The Buffalo sounds familiar. I mean, Ryan Grant had a few good years,
but they had a couple of guys. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank.
Do you need to look it up now?
I'm about to
because
it's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on, man.
What year was it? Like in 2013, 2014?
No,
because that might have been Big Eddie. Yeah,
no. I
might
got
have
you
been
right here.
2012.
No. Hold on. Let me get you real quick, bro.
Is it a backup?
Hold on. Just give me a second, man. You throwing all these names out here, man?
I'm just trying to fill the time here. Right?
James Starks. That was the dude.
That's who it is. Yep.
James Starks. Yeah, because I was sitting here like, they never really had, like you said, a dog at running back.
Dude, I'm telling you, if Big Eddie just could have kept his weight down, because he had some monster years.
He did. Remember early on?
He was awesome.
Remember the first 2 years, people were trying to do the whole, well, look at Lacy. Like, hey, man.
Dude, he was. I mean, it was. Yeah. I was actually pissed when we took Bell. I
heard a lot of people were.
Did we take? Yeah, it's either we took Bell over Lacy or like the Packers just took Lacy over us. I can't remember.
I want to say the Steelers took Bell over.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because everybody was like,
I wanted Lacy, dude. Because I mean, yeah, he reminded us of the bus, and we were like, oh, we need this bruiser back because we went through this whole stretch of after having Mendenhall of Jonathan Dwyer, Isaac Redmond. We're like, we need a dog out there.
Yeah,
and we took Bell, and it ended up working out. But I mean, after that rookie year, you were thinking Lacy still.
Yeah.
So he had an awesome rookie year. But then Bell really became Bell in his second year.
Yes, indeed, man.
All right, so what's that?
Yeah,
that's Cowboys. I'm going with Gallup with you. I agree with you there.
That's really got me thinking about that too, bro.
What's it got you thinking about?
Just the talk around Le'Veon, man, versus Eddie Lacy when they both went when the draft happened.
Oh yeah. Dude. Well, if you go back to his rookie year,
because the Steelers took
there was the showcase.
The Steelers took L. Bell at 48, and the Packers took Lacy at like 60 or 61. Yeah, that definitely.
That
was wild, bro.
I mean, after watching the highlights, you were like, all right, we're cool with Bell, but I really wanted Lacy.
Yeah, the only highlight I remember from L. Bell was where he's like jumping over the cat, and they like
at Michigan State.
Yeah, that was like the highlight they kept showing.
Dude, he was so much bigger back then.
He was. His rookie year, he was big,
If you look at his thigh, like his legs were huge.
Yes, rookie year L. Bell was totally different because I remember being in Buffalo. We played and was like, that doesn't look nowhere near like when I showed up to OTAs the next year in 14. I'm like, that's not the same running back right here. This is crazy right now, man.
No, he completely. Yeah. I mean, he still has obviously the slower style of running where you hear it. I mean, I don't know how much you were able to hear it because they said it so often on broadcast every time Bell would run. Oh, look at his patience. That's
the thing. Is patience.
Did you hear about that?
I mean, when I came to Pittsburgh, I heard about it. Yeah.
But like, did you hear it from, I guess, broadcasters or reporters? Because that's all. Like, if you were watching the game on TV, that's all you heard about Bell.
Well, you gotta remember, I just started watching games on TV.
That's what I mean. Like,
so
did you hear the narrative of the patience, or was that talked amongst the players about his running style?
The only time we talked about that was, like I said, once I got to Pittsburgh, we were hearing a lot more, talk about it a lot more. L. Bell's rookie year, I never heard about it.
But during his prime,
we were teammates then.
I know, but you guys were talking. You guys were talking about it, saying
we talk about he's patient. We would actually joke like, well, every like athletes in particular, we always like to mimic or act like I can do that. So literally, anytime we would act like we L. Bell, ball snap, we walking, and then we're gonna hit you with a jump step. It's gonna be something just crazy with the head fake. How he hit you with the dead leg. We give you that, but literally, we're gonna walk. I'm L. Bell. Hold on, wait on. All right, now I'm gone. Like, that's how he plays, man.
Dude, it worked out.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Definitely did, man.
It was, and it's still going to work out. That's my prediction as well.
Ooh, okay.
So, do we want to move to the next team?
Yeah, so the next team was the Detroit Lions, and they have Frank Ragnow. I think that's how you pronounce it, man.
Actually, this might have been the other team. I just didn't even bother answering, to be honest with you.
You just left it alone?
Well, I think they make a good argument in the article, and I'll give it to them. Because I mean, like I said, I looked. Oh no! I'm sorry. No, I'm completely wrong on this. I got a name.
Okay, let's see if you got the same name I have.
Okuda.
Same, yeah.
Well, I mean, they drafted him number 3, and I think the cornerbacks in the NFC, it's going to be wide open now. Mm-hmm. It's a little more wide open, at least. So hold on, what do I have? Yeah, so you have Darius Slay. He went to the Eagles. He's still going to be around.
Yeah.
Xavier Rose, though, is not in the NFC anymore, from what I remember.
You're right, yeah.
And then Richard Sherman, he's getting up there in age a little bit, so I could see.
Are you calling Sherman old?
No. It's just a natural thing. So with Okuda, I mean, they drafted him number 3. He's going to be getting all of Darius Slay snaps. He's automatically their number 1 cornerback.
True.
So if Slay was able to do that, I'm not saying there's not going to be like a rookie learning curve with Okuda, but I mean, it's happened before. Marshawn Lattimore made a Pro Bowl his first year as a rookie. He had all the opportunity with the New Orleans Saints, so I don't see why it can't happen with Jeff Okuda. He was clearly the number 1 cornerback coming out last year, so that's my whole argument. I mean, I think the cornerbacks are down a little bit. Rose not being there, Sherman getting up there in age, so the door is a little bit open, and then the talent and the opportunity is going to be there with the Lions. So that's why I'm going with him.
So the reason why I went with Okuda, first off, you kind of hit on it in terms of where they drafted him, the hype around him, the expectations for him. But the thing that stood out to me the most was Darius Slay was highlighted for his man-to-man capabilities in Detroit. So it's already established that, hey, if you're the Darius Slay of that team, you should be a Pro Bowler because that's what Darius Slay was. So I think for a guy like Jeff, if he's able to come in and produce, or even not even be as great as Darius Slay, but just be comparable or be in the conversation, I think that helps him out a ton because of his draft stock, along with the fact that he's doing what Detroit line cornerbacks do. In terms of Darius Slay did it. He's been in numerous Pro Bowls, been an All-Pro. You hear about how other guys in the league talk about Darius in terms of him being probably the best man-to-man corner. So when you talk about all those things, if Jeff can come in and just be in the same vein,
yeah,
that's a huge benefit for him, man.
Yeah, and I apologize, people, because I'm going back and forth with these lists here. So I'm seeing one thing, and I'm not like my memory is jogged because I did these lists a little bit ago. So that's kind of why I'm like, I didn't even answer this one. But then I'm looking back. No, I have a different guy here. So that's
you.
I'm going,
Deke, bro.
I'm going in between my notes, my email, and these online lists here.
Deke, you are Deke. A sex symbol.
All right.
A global conglomerate.
All right.
That's what you are.
Conglomerate. Damn.
You are internationally known.
No way.
You are, because when I looked at the YouTube stats, we got fans that watch our show from all over the world. Same with the podcast. No, everywhere. I seen UK. I seen China. I didn't see Mexico. Everywhere, all right? Wow. So just know you big time, all right?
Yeah, but that means you are too, so.
But more you than me, all right?
No way.
I'm just here for just
No way.
Yeah, make it a little balance in the room, that's all.
No way. Yeah. It's the opposite. You're the man.
Nah,
I mean, Steelers.
Come on, man.
You got that brand attached to you.
Nah, bro, we know
you're good for life.
Listen, we know you're Deke, bro. And we know that, hey, you could come in here and see you switched the outfit up on me today. I ain't even want to talk about that. You took the hat off, got the spiky hair, no glasses, little playoff beard growing in. No taco meat showing though. I was a little surprised by that.
I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good today.
We finally get the women followers going up, and now you want to take away the taco meat. Thanks a lot, Deke. Now we're about to lose some women followers.
I'm sorry. So we both agree with Okuda there.
Yeah, without a doubt, though. Okuda. All right. I can see that, man. Now,
what team next?
Now we're at the Packers. Now, this is the one I didn't agree with. They had Darnell Savage. For me, this is a no-brainer. I'm going Preston Smith, man. We talked about how, Zadarius Smith last year
I have Preston Smith too.
Yeah, because we talked about how Zadarius Smith last year got in as an alternate with, was it 12 and a half sacks or 13 sacks?
Yeah.
This guy right here, man, Preston Smith had 12 sacks, was absolutely balling out. I mean, it was times last year when we talked about the Packers legit having either the best or top 2 edge rush tandem in the league, man, with both of those guys 13 and 12 sacks. Like we talked about what TJ and Bud did here last year with 14 and a half and 11 and a half sacks. Like, this is in that same vein. Both of these dudes balled out crazy. Shout out to Mike Pettin too, man. He's done a great job in Green Bay getting those guys right. I do, man.
You got that Buffalo connect.
We do, man. And actually, that was my best year as an inside linebacker, man. So shout out to Pettin, man. Even though we had some disagreements later on, it was all love, man.
I agree with you. Man, I got Preston Smith
the guy, man.
For the 12 sacks last year. The production speaks for itself. Whereas Savages, I'm looking at his numbers. I'm like, man, I don't know if that's completely there. And we talked about the safeties where, you know, it could NFC, be it could be a little bit open. Just, you know, is Buda Baker really gonna you know, stake claim to that for next year? But still, I mean, they still have some names at safety. And, you know, if he just keeps it up with another 12 sack, another double-digit season, he's gonna have a chance. Like, if we're talking about best chance, then, you know, I'll give it to Preston Smith for that.
And the similar thing that helped Bud this year is gonna help him in the terms that they can't double him. You can't double him when you guys are Darius on the other side getting 13 sacks. You can't double Bud when you got TJ on the other side getting 14 and a half. Like, that's not how it works. Or 14. So I'm just adding on sacks and sacks and sacks. I just love it. You know me. Yeah, man. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I think, Preston definitely has the best chance, man.
Yep.
All right, now we're going out to LA, man. Put my shades on. I'm feeling nice. They went with Tyler Higbee, man, tight end. I could see it potentially.
I agree.
I could see it. For me, I have another name. I went with one of my former teammates, Robert Woods. Man, he's coming off of back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Had 90 catches last year, 86 the year before that. And Brandon Cooks is gone. So he's going to be the guy receiving way more attention now in terms of targets and stuff like that, because obviously they still have I'm drawing a blank
Cooper
on
Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp is still going to be getting a ton of attention. So he doesn't have to worry about the double teams. Now, he's not the take the top off the defense guy, but he is a more athletic, like Hines Ward type. Like, he can block.
Yeah.
He's gonna get physical with you. He's gonna kill anything in the short to intermediate. Every once in a while, he'll catch something deep, but he's just a super consistent player, a guy that you want on your team. Like I said, coming off the back, he had 1,200 yards the previous year and then 1,100 last year, I want to say. And like I said, high volume catch guy, 86, 90. So I'm anticipating that number being 100 plus this year. So that's why I'm going with him.
I agree with the Higbee call.
No.
Just because of, like I was saying, with Atlanta Falcons and their tight end situation. He's going to be the guy there. Yeah. And he had actually a really productive year last year.
He
69 receptions.
Definitely did.
734 yards, 3 touchdowns. So,
I mean, numbers were just as good or better than Jared Cook, who got the Pro Bowl nod.
Yeah, so I feel like they're going to be throwing it a decent amount in that offense. So, are we counting out 1,000 yards for him next year? I think it's possible. I think 900 yards, maybe 1,000 yards.
See, I don't think he's going to get it like that. I think 700-800 at best. Because knowing Jared Goff and knowing what McVay likes to do out there, they want to stretch the field. They're not trying to do the short, just dinking, dunking, or getting into the tight end. They want to stretch that field, man. And obviously they have the receivers when they're healthy to do that. I mean, you talk about a guy like Robert Woods coming off of back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. That's on top of Brandon Cooks having a 1,000-yard season as well every year that he was out there. So when
last year was a down year for him, though. But
he's still over 1,000 yards, though.
No, not last year.
Hold on. Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, he had a bad year.
Let me see.
He had a bad year.
I'm thinking about the year before that.
No, he did have a year where he had 1,000 yards with them, though, where all of them went off. Yeah. Like, Cooks had over 1,000 yards, Woods had over 1,000, and then Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. He did have a down year last year. It was before then he had 1, 2, 3, 4,000 yard seasons, but his first year in LA was when he had for 1,200.
So the whatchamacallit, the one where Woods and Cooks both had 1,000 yards.
Either 1,200 yards, I want to say.
But
together.
Like Cooper Kupp was on pace for a monster year. Yeah, he got hurt though. But then he actually picked it up last year, and I guess he became Goff's favorite target. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'm going with Higbee just with the opportunity in the tight end. I think that number will increase by a couple hundred yards, and just with the tight ends, Hooper being gone, I think he's got a shot.
I like it, man. It's gonna be interesting. All right, now we're going out to Minnesota. This was difficult for me, man. This is real difficult. Now, they went with Anthony Harris. Obviously, he's coming off 6 picks last year. He's the Robin to Harrison Smith, who, I mean, shout out to Madden. They have him as the number 1 rated safety on the game. Yeah, we're going to discuss these Madden ratings next podcast.
Okay.
We're done waiting on that. It's out now. We got to talk about it. But the reason why the Vikings one was difficult was they don't have a ton of players who are good that haven't made a Pro Bowl yet. Everybody that they have that you want to think of as good or up and coming has already either had a Pro Bowl or whatever it may be. So for me, man, when I think of Anthony Harris, I mean, we talked about the safeties in the NFC. It's not going to be easy. We talked about, okay, you're going to have to potentially take out a Buda Baker from that list. I personally think that Trey Boston can make that list, but it's not enough opportunities for these guys to get up there. So that's my only concern with Anthony, man. But yeah, if they're saying from that team that's the best case, I guess I got to go with him, man.
Yeah, actually, no. This was the other one I didn't answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just like, I looked. I'm like, even their draft, I'm like, nah, I just don't see it right now, man.
I'm not. I mean, yeah. Do you want to say Jefferson? Nah, I don't really want to say that based off a lot of things we were saying with receiver and a rookie receiver coming in. No,
and that would mean you would have to really love Kirk Cousins too, huh?
Huh?
Not on that level.
There's been, no. Yeah, I don't.
Just no.
I could see Jefferson having a good year, though. I mean, Stephon Diggs and Thielen have both had productive receiver seasons.
And Thielen, but this is the thing that was funny to me. As productive as Diggs has been, he doesn't have a Pro Bowl, but Thielen has, I think, 2 or 3 Pro Bowls during that span. So it'll be interesting, man. I personally don't see it though.
No, I got nothing. I'll give it to them on this one. Be honest with you, I'm just, good luck, Vikings. Good luck with that.
All right, so now we're going down to New Orleans Saints. They went with Ryan. I think you said Ramczyk. I think they said, man. So obviously the 4th year tackle. For me, I went with defense. Obviously, I always go defense because I'm a defensive-minded player. Let's be real. But I went with Marcus Williams, man, the safety down there. I think they're stacked at certain parts of that defense. Obviously, they have Pro Bowlers, all pros at all 3 levels. But I think that, man, Marcus Williams is a guy. He had 4 picks last year. He had 4 picks his rookie year as well. I think his second year was a little bit down in that department, but he's still a very productive player. And the similar case that we talked about with the Cowboys in terms of the opportunities, the primetime games, down in New Orleans, he's going to have those primetime games. As long as you're competing and you're making some plays, they're going to hype him up extra because of the Drew Brees effect as well. It is how it is, man.
They convinced me on this one. This is written beautifully.
It is. They even used the italicize.
Yeah, they have this written from Ryan's perspective here. Mm-hmm. Hello, my name is Ryan Ramczyk. I play right tackle for the Saints. I was named the best run blocking lineman in the NFL last season by PFF. The site handed me the same award in 2018, but I've yet to be invited to the Pro Bowl. This makes me frown. I suppose the human beings who decide these things don't realize that PFF also graded me as the top tackle on our planet in 2019. I will now run from my emotions by eating an entire apple pie by myself. Dude, they convinced me. If I say what you want about PFF, but if they're ranking him this high in 2018 and 19, I'll give it to him again. Maybe he's due. But they did just get rid of the number 1 ranked run blocking guard in the league too, man. Earlier this offseason, coming off of a Pro Bowl. So, I mean, I just wonder sometimes when they talk about run blocking in New Orleans in particular, that doesn't really strike me as an offense that runs the ball a lot. I mean, I understand Kamara is a dog, but they are pass first. They just said that right here is top tackle on our planet in 2019. Top tackle in general.
I can name some tackles that are better than Ryan. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? I don't have an issue with Ryan. I don't know the man personally, but I can name some tackles that I'm just like, I don't think he was the best tackle on the team, but that's for another debate. You know what I mean?
Listen, they convinced me, and that's all I need.
I do like the eat the whole apple pie by himself thing, that I could feel that.
Yeah, they really convinced me by putting the emotion into it and making me feel bad for this dude.
He even got the nice writing. It's italicized, right? Yeah. Italicized, that's what he said. Yeah, so that was pretty dope, man. All right, so now we got the New York Football Giants. They went with Kevin Zeitler going into his 9th year. For me,
I disagree.
I disagree as well. I actually went with their draft pick this year, the 4th overall pick, Andrew Thomas. The reason why, actually, man, I was watching. They had a replay of the Giants and Bucks last year, and I was actually watching Danny Dimes go to work. I'm like, bro, it's not a myth.
Are you even more shocked that people would still take Burrow?
I am, but I think it's prisoner of the moment. Because watch me, I'm like, bro, he checks every box. He can make all the throws and he can run. He used his legs beautifully because he was getting heated up because last year their O-line was not good. But the reason why I think it'll be Andrew Thomas is this. The hype surrounding Daniel Jones, right? The better he gets, more attention is going to come to him, right? But if as they're talking about Daniel Jones having a very productive season, because I think he's going to take a huge leap this season, they're going to be talking about who's protecting him. And Andrew Thomas' fourth overall pick is going to get hyped up a lot because of that. Man, look at this guy protecting Daniel Jones. Daniel's able to do this because of how much time he has. Oh, Saquon is doing this because of the run blocking. Look at all this stuff going on, and they're going to keep pointing out the fourth overall pick in Andrew Thomas. So I think him being in New York, the major media market, along with Daniel Jones taking a huge step forward this year and Saquon being who he is, I think that gets him the nod.
Okay. So I'm on a tight end rule here, and I got to go with Evan Engram, dude.
Oh, he was balling. Yeah.
The talent's there. He was just unfortunately hurt last year. I mean, if you sample his stats out over the course of a full season, he would have had 960 yards and 3 touchdowns last year. So that's enough to make a Pro Bowl, and I just think he's going to be getting better. And like you said, Danny Dimes in the system another year. And that was just based off Daniel Jones' rookie year. Even, Evan Engram's stats were because of that. Now, you add Daniel Jones in his second year, I think things are going to be...
Man. Stop out, bro.
What?
It's going to be the receiver out there, man.
Nah, man. You know, I think Danny Dimes will have Engram. I mean, he already... Like I said, the stats are already there for him. Like, if he just can stay healthy and do it over the course of a full season, it could be a no-brainer. I could definitely see him having over 1,000 yards, over 1,100 yards.
It's going to be a receiver out there, man. Stop it, man.
What do you mean it's going to be a receiver out there?
Man, let me see.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Who's going to be their guy? I'm just saying, man. If I'm going offense, man, hold on,
dude,
man.
In terms of Engram's yards per game, like I said, over the course of 16 games, it'd be 960 yards.
Hey, you projecting. I don't want to hear that, man.
Just look at his yards per game.
I don't believe that, man. I don't want to hear that, man.
Just look at his yards per game. So... Like I said, with the tight end position, I think it's a little bit more open. So that's why I think one of these 3 tight ends I'm throwing out there is going to make it. So I'll be right on one of them at least.
You are tight end heavy today, man. Are we going tight end again? We're going to Philadelphia now.
Well,
they got Dallas Goedert up here. You feeling tight end? He's awake.
No, actually, I got a good Philly one.
I got 2 good Philly ones, actually.
Miles Sanders.
No, I like Miles. I like that pick a lot.
He's going to have a big year.
For me, man, I say either Javon Hargrave. I think, man, yes. I mean, you think about what he's been able to do.
Little hometown pride.
Yeah, but I think about what he's been able to do here in Pittsburgh, right? He's never been the sole guy who could just rush every down that he wants to. He's been in a 3-4. He's been playing nose tackle in a 3-4. He's been having to take snaps or split snaps with Tyson Alualu, or when Tua was the guy out there. He's going to a 4-3 where he's going to be able to just pin his ears back and just rush, which is what people think he's a great run stopper. Man, this dude can rush the passer. He's going to be out there with Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. He's going to eat. He's going to be the guy, because you can't slide the protection to him because you got Brandon on one side and you got Fletcher Cox out there. Fletcher Cox is going to demand attention. So he's getting one-on-ones. He's going to dominate that. So for me, I'm leaning with him, man. I think that he has the best opportunity. And then my other guy, man, shout out to my dude who came on the podcast with us, man, Nikel Roby-Coleman, man. We talked about the secondary. He's a guy who's been very productive throughout his career, but more so than this, his best season as a professional was his last year in Buffalo. And his DC was Jim Schwartz. Who's the DC in Philadelphia he just got reunited with? Jim Schwartz. So I'm expecting him to even have a uptick in his productivity, along with the fact that they signed Darius Slay out there. So that's going to help him in terms of the matchups that he has to worry about are going to be very, very productive for him. And I'm banking on, like I said, with Hargrave stepping up in a big way. Pass rushers are your DB's best friend. You have an elite pass rush, man, that makes every DB look great. So I think that's going to help him out a ton, man.
I gotta go Miles Sanders, dude.
Miles is a beast, though.
He's gonna be the only guy there. If you look at Peterson with his Eagles teams, they've had a bunch of different running backs, and they've all had success, but you just haven't had that one guy that's been able to carry the load.
Very true.
Now it's gonna be Miles Sanders, and he proved last year as a rookie that he can be very productive if given that workload.
I guess my question to you is this: which back is he going to be better than this year? McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook,
I had this marked down.
Kamara, because those are the guys who made it as like running backs. Obviously, Kyle Juszczyk is fullback, and
I could see Cook taking a step back.
Ooh.
I could see Cook taking a step back. There's some injury concerns with him. I could just outside of all that though.
Is this contract year 2 for Dalvin?
Listen, dude. Yeah, but that's almost a concern too with the whole. Is he gonna hold out? What's all going on?
I'm just saying contract.
With Miles Sanders, dude, I could see him just having incredible numbers this year. That's what I could see where it blows everyone out. Like, dude, he had 50 receptions last year and 500 yards in limited time. This is with Jordan Howard trying to split some of the time, and that was that was more in the middle of the season, probably weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, because he didn't start out as the guy up there. No,
he didn't. Yeah. But like it was weird. He actually got a decent amount of carries his first couple weeks, but then they really started giving it to Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
Like from weeks 3 or 4 to when Jordan Howard stopped playing, and then Miles Sanders got the whole workload. So, dude, if I could just see him getting the whole backfield from the start of the season to the end, stays healthy, dude, he could easily have like 75 receptions, maybe 600 yards. And maybe 1,200 rushing yards, and 7-8 touchdowns. You think he's
going to have 1,200 rushing yards?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he had 800 last year.
The reason I don't see that, I think because they're going to be way more healthier at receiver and way more dangerous at receiver this year. And we know with Carson Wentz, they're going to want him to throw the ball. That's what he does. So I think that his numbers, I see him at 800, 900 tops.
Dude, if you add Jordan Howard's stats from last year to his total, I'm sure it's actually pretty similar to like 1,200 yards.
I get that. I just don't see it happening, and it's easy to sit here and predict that. Oh yeah, just
500 yards,
500 with this 600.
But he's gonna be the guy now. We saw
with James Conner. I mean, we've predicted that for how many years now, and it's not that simple. It's a lot of factors that go into it. So it's not just simple to just say,
dude, he was gonna have the stats Bell had though.
I understand people said that, but when has he done it? He hasn't. So it's not as easy.
He did on a per game basis though.
I'm talking for a whole year basis. I don't.
He still made a Pro Bowl.
No, he did. I agree with that. But you talk about the numbers, and that's why it's always dangerous when you just say, "Well, look, man, per game. If you just add that 16 times, it's going to be this," because it's not that.
Yeah,
simple.
But I just see the talent being there with Sanders. So I think he's a beast.
No, I think he is as well, man. I think this is his first opportunity where he's going to be the guy. Even in college, he was behind Saquon, so he never really had those opportunities to just feast. I think he can definitely surprise a lot of people. I think your argument, though, in terms of the Dalvin Cook one, I think that's probably going to be his best bet because we know for a fact McCaffrey's going to be there. Zeke is going to be there. Kamara is going to be there. Even Kamara having a down year last year.
You can't rule out Barkley either. I mean.
Oh, my God. I'm forgetting about Saquon. You're absolutely right. Jeez.
It's tough, but we're talking about best chance. And I think Sanders can have a big year. Oh,
jeez. I totally forgot Saquon.
I think Sanders can have a breakout year. That's more or less what I'm really banking on.
I'm with you on that.
He has a breakout year because those RBs are going to be tough to pass up.
Man, I totally forgot Saquon.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, yeah. That's, woof. Who else am I forgetting in NFC? Is there anyone else
I don't know. I'm
nervous now, man.
I actually don't think you need any more names.
I was going to say, God.
In terms of running back, nah.
I mean, we're not even talking about any of the San Fran boys either.
There's too much split carries there. I mean, because
I'm thinking
if Mostert actually gets traded, though,
that could change some
Tevin
stuff.
Coleman could be a sleeper.
Yeah. Do you think Gurley bounces back this year?
I do, actually. I think he has a big year.
That's another name because he NFC.
Yeah, Falcons. It's fine, but I really do think Sanders is going to have a big year. Yeah. If we're talking about best chances,
you're right.
There's no guarantee with any of this stuff.
Very true. It's best chance, and that's for that team. It's not like we're saying, hey, predict your Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
We're saying for that team, if I had to pick a first-time Pro Bowler, does this guy?
Like, I in terms of my pick versus your pick, I think mine will just have more of an opportunity to go off.
Yes, very true.
In terms of who these players are going up against for the NFC rosters, I'd give that to you, though.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right, so now we got the Niners. They went with Quan Williams, 6-year cornerback. For me, man, I stayed on the defensive side of the ball, but I went with the former first rounder, man, Eric Armstead.
I have him too.
Ton of pressure on him this year, contract year, but he's coming off a 10-sack season, his most productive season as a pro. And when you just look at the guys they have returning on defense, it's set up for him to be successful. We talked about how in San Fran, like other teams, the linebackers or the safeties are the leader of that defense. There's their D-line. This is similar to like the Giants when they won the Super Bowl when they had Strahan, Osi Umenyiora, Justin Tuck. That's what they have out there in San Fran with some of those guys, and especially the pedigree. So I think, man, if he has another 10-sack season, 10-plus sack season, he's there, man.
Now, I have him marked down as well. Now, the sleeper name that I have is Kinlaw.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, dude, you have DeForest Buckner's gone, and 2 years ago he made a Pro Bowl. So I'm just thinking, I'm just adding 2 and 2 together that, all right, Kinlaw is going to be getting that workload, and you never know. He's got the talent. The 49ers drafted him for a reason. So that's kind of my sleeper pick. I have Armstead, though, as my number 1.
I was upset, though, because I wanted to go Deebo Samuel, but I know he's going to miss some time this year.
Yeah.
Man. And the NFC is stacked.
I mean,
but he's gonna miss time, man. Coming off, is it Liz Frank? I think he had a Liz Frank or something with his foot, man. So he's gonna miss some time.
Yeah. That offense too. It doesn't feel too. It feels wide receiver friendly in terms of getting people open and stuff like that. But in terms of big time yards and big time numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could you see that happening?
Well, that's the thing. Kittle, you look at what Kittle did out there last year. And then with Debo had 800 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, and that was on like 50 receptions too. So, yeah.
I know that was for tight end. I'm
saying for Debo. Debo had those numbers.
No.
Yeah.
I understand that, but that's what I mean. Could we see him getting 1,400 yards?
I don't see 1,300. I see 1,100, 1,200, but this is the thing. He's not going to do that this year because of him being injured. But you think about last year, Debo was doing this while being out there with Emmanuel Sanders, who was getting his own on the opposite side. And like I said, with Kittle and with them having a four-headed monster at running back.
They just who are they going to have as their second guy? They just drafted Ayuk from AZ State. Is he going to be their second guy right off the bat here?
Trying to think. Hold on. I'm missing somebody for them. They have another.
Because, dude, they might be in a little bit of trouble. Let's be straight up.
Yeah, because Emmanuel Sanders is gone.
Breda was their...
Hold on, you know what? I'm going to just pull them up real quick.
Mostert was the best down the stretch last year, but, I mean, you can argue Breda was maybe their best back throughout the whole season.
Well, like I said,
they don't have
loaded.
him anymore.
Yeah, they were loaded. But
that's what I mean. Could we be saying there might be a little bit of a concern for the 49ers this year? Little step back, little Super Bowl hangover. I've said this before.
Super Bowl hangover for me. I'm like, they only had one successful season in the past 3 years. I look at this as outlier year. Like, I'm sorry.
So if I'm saying 8-8 or 9-7, you're not going to argue with me on that.
What did they do the 2 years prior to that? They were 3 wins and 5 wins, man. Like, I look at this as a 1 year. It was just a perfect storm.
I feel like people are loving Shanahan and the 49ers and the new age thinking.
I'm cool on that, bro.
We
even talked when we had the quarterback rankings. I'm like, I'm not putting Shanahan up there for one season.
Or the coach rankings.
Yeah, as a coach ranking, yeah.
Did you have him 10? I had him off my list completely.
He was either at 10 or 11 on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, but they
had him like top 5.
Yeah, they had him.
But let's see. So receivers, they have Travis Benjamin. They got Brandon. How you say it?
Ayuk.
Ayuk. Obviously, George Kittle's the tight end.
Dude, this is what I mean.
Jalen Hurts.
Mostert's calling to get out of there too.
Yeah.
This could spell trouble for them. Their defense is going to be good, but
yeah, we're gonna see what this coaching staff and Jimmy G are truly made of, man. They got a lot of hype. Like I said, for me, I'm not a fan of 1 year wonders. I like consistency. I want to see you do it again. So I think this year's going to be a bigger telling of who they really are. Personally,
yeah, I think they take a step back, dude.
So now we got the Seattle Seahawks. They went with DK Metcalf, and I love it.
I agree.
I love it.
Yeah, 900 yards for his rookie year. It's just one of those things. Obviously, the NFC receivers, we've lamented about this and talked about this all podcasts. Their receivers are so great, but dude, like Devontae Adams had 900 something yards last year, and then if you look at who I have Cooper here at 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Am I reading this right? Is it 8 or 6? 8 touchdowns. Kenny Golladay at 1,190 yards, 11 touchdowns. So, all right, if we just do the math with DK, 900 yards his rookie year. Yeah. Can we see him going up 200-300 yards and a couple more touchdowns? That's what I mean.
He wasn't even the featured guy early on, and he was still Tyler Lockett was on the other side. But
he's got the name too. He's got the internet brand. People love him.
Remember, that's Mr. 2% body fat. Like, how are you alive at 2%?
Dude, those memes are incredible. Yeah. Do you ever see them?
I do. Yeah. But when I look at that, I'm just like, bro, like he's definitely gonna easily 1,200 receiving yards. I think of guys that Russell have had success with, Tyler Lockett, obviously Doug Baldwin, and before then Golden Tate. Outside of Golden Tate, I think DK Metcalf is a better athlete than Tyler or a Doug Baldwin. I think he's a better receiver, or can be a better receiver than those guys. So for me, I'm looking at it like, I know what Russell's going to do. I know him. He's going to cook regardless.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see him getting 1,200 yards, and because of the name to go along with it. And they play primetime games out there. It's not like, he's on a small market team or a team that doesn't get the attention. They're going to be hyping up Russ because Russ is always in MVP contention, even though he never gets an MVP vote. So they're going to be talking about him a lot this year. And yeah, I just see DK as the guy that's going to benefit the most from that as well.
Yeah. Yep. We both agree with that.
Now we're going to your second team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No second team. I told you that's not allowed.
We go to your second team because we know how much you love Brady.
Brady's just a player. Brady's just a player, man.
It's cool, bro. I got you, man. All right.
There's no second teams. It's not allowed. I told you. It's not allowed.
I know that. I'm just saying, but I know how much you love Thomas.
I do like Brady.
So they went with Antoine Winfield Jr.
They're wrong.
Wow, the rookie out of Minnesota. This is a no-brainer for me. I'm going Devin White, dude. Devin White was a beast last year, even with missing time. Luke Kuechly's gone, but he's going to be the new face of the NFC in terms of linebackers. He has that type of talent, that type of trajectory. Checks every single box you want. He's the guy. Not even.
It's probably similar reasons why someone would say Devin Bush with Pittsburgh. 91 tackles in 13 games last year. He had 2 touchdowns. And yeah, he's going to be the guy there. He was the number 5 pick in what was it? It was last year. It was last year. See, can you say last year though now?
What do you mean?
Last year's draft.
Yeah, because this year's draft is the one that has Chase Young and all those guys. So I say last year's draft.
Okay, last year's draft is cool because dude, it's like at this point with the season coming up, when do you say?
Well, no, it always gets
what
because
is this
like, with
last?
Madden, how Madden is 21, but I'm like it's 20 right now.
Yeah.
It always throws me off. I hate it.
Yeah, so he's gonna be the guy down there. Yeah. I don't know why they have Winfield.
Yeah, I don't either, bro.
Because we even talked about the inside linebacker. Kuechly's going to be gone.
Absolutely, it's a void. I think he was going to make it regardless if Kuechly was there or not. Like he was gonna take Jalen Smith's spot. If somebody's spot was getting took, because that's what Devin. Like he's that type of player, man. He's a beast, bro.
It might help having Brady down there too, and
I was gonna get
and all that.
So you think Brady being there, man? The primetime years are going to go up, but more importantly, this same conversation we talked about with Devin Bush, right? He's not going to be on the field nowhere near as much this year as he was last year. You remember, Devin White played on a team where the quarterback had 30 interceptions. That's a lot of sudden change. Any of my defense players, y'all know what that means. It sucks. You think you're having a rest, and then, oh, no, we back on the field. Let's go. It was a turnover. That's hard to do, especially as a rookie. That's tough to deal with. Totally different now, man. Brady ain't turning the ball over 30 times. Brady's going to make sure you sustain drives. You're going to be well rested playing with Brady.
I think, too, there could be weird comparisons that are made by these broadcast teams where you have Brady. He's the leader on this offense. Who's the leader of the defense? Devin White. So he's going to be getting a lot of time. He's going to be getting a lot of time on TV.
You know, that's going to hit him with, man, they haven't had a linebacker this good since Derek Brooks. He's a Hall of Famer. Tell you, man. This is how it's going.
All of a sudden, Tampa Bay is going to have this storied history.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, Devin White for sure.
The defense led by Devin White looks like the Bucks. It was an 0-2 when they won the Super Bowl. I'm telling you. So it's going to happen, man. Watch. Just watch. And now we get to the end of the list, man. Washington. Yeah. I don't have an issue with this. They go Chase Young. And I agree 1,000%, man. When I think of Chase... Oh, excuse me. But yeah, when I think of Chase Young, obviously they have a lot of controversy, a lot of things going on with the organization right now between the name and some of the allegations coming out. But with Chase, they're going to want to pump him up because he's the hometown kid on top of being with the number 2 overall draft pick. You know, as a pass rusher too, they make the sexy plays. It's not like you're an interior D lineman. It's not like you're a middle linebacker in a 4-3 defense where you're going to have stats but nothing like this pops out. They're going to be hyping up Chase Young because that's going to be one of the few bright spots that they have right now. So between being in the nation's capital, he has everything set up for him. And let's be real, this dude is going to walk into 10 sacks just off of his physical ability alone. He's that talented. So when you factor in those things in the NFC, I see him definitely getting the nod, man.
It's exactly what I have marked down. Generational talent by all accounts. Everyone's telling me this. So I don't think double-digit sacks are out of the question with him.
No.
It's really that simple. He was number 2 pick for all the reasons you mentioned. I think it's Chase Young. Unless someone else is going to tell me another player out of Washington that's going to make it.
I don't see it, man. I thought maybe Dwayne Haskins, but it's no even guarantee he's going to be the starting quarterback.
No way. Yeah, I think an argument can be made for McLaurin, but it goes back to the whole receiver thing. I'd rather have, like we mentioned some of these receivers here, I'd put my money on Metcalf or Gallup.
Yeah.
Than making it over him. So in terms of best chances,
I'm with you, man.
We'll go with Chase Young. Then.
I'm going Chase Young without a doubt.
Agree with that.
Let's see if we got an update, man. I was going to say, you're looking for this update. I'm checking for the update. Shefty has tweeted out, the Eagles reached a deal with quarterback Jalen Hurts. All right, shout out to that. Let's see. Are we going to get any big news?
Nothing. Was that the big news?
That's all Shefty didn't tweet it out, man. And he tweeted out about the Giants and Jets not having fans. AB allegedly announcing a retirement. That's about it, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Nothing. We still want to talk about it then? Your call. We can talk about it or save it.
We'll save it because you know it's gonna happen, bro.
Okay, there's like we're gonna talk about it, but then there's gonna be new rules implemented and new
something
caveats.
later tonight. Yeah, and then we're gonna
be where are we at anyway?
Hour and 20, hour and 18.
Are you serious?
Yeah, hour 18.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good, man. So, hey, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all the subscribers. Appreciate everybody checking out the interviews that we've been doing too, man. It's been a ton of fun. We had the young kid Robert Edwards on, man.
It was fun.
Super fun talking with him,
that
man.
Was really good. Yeah.
Definitely was, man. So if you haven't checked that out, man, definitely check that out. But other than that, man, yeah. Just stay active, man. We got more heat coming for y'all later on, man. So we appreciate you. And until next time.
Peace.